Welcome to the Downtime from WTWH Media with your hosts, Sarah Wynn and Sheri Kasprzak, bringing you everything you need to know from the week in manufacturing.
3, 2, 1. Get ready for liftoff because we are back with another episode of The Downtime. We are a weekly manufacturing podcast from WTWH Media. I'm your co-host, Sarah Wynn, also known as the senior editor for Packaging OEM, here with my tag team partner and fellow Downtime diva,
Sheri Kasprzak. I am the managing editor of Automation and Control Brands here at WTWH Media. And if you don't know, that's plant engineering, control engineering, and consulting specifying engineer. And we're so glad that you're back with us for another episode of The Downtime.
Yes, we've got quite a show. Sheri, where should we start?
Oh, where to start? You just got back. You got back from space camp.
Like I was at space camp. Yes.
You were at space camp. I'm so jealous, but you just got back in from Texas. That must have been such a fun trip. Cannot wait. You were with the Schneider Electric folks.
Yes.
So from everything you told me, it was a great time, and I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you again, Schneider Electric, for the invitation. We have an interview in this episode that I recorded while I was down there, down south. Great time in Houston. I did not go into an anti-gravity chamber. Sorry, Sheri, sorry to report. But we did a nice tour of NASA Space Center down there, and we had a lot of panels, discussions, and demos. I have a 60-second video recap on my own LinkedIn. You can check it out. Set it to one of my favorite songs. You know, I love to hit that little smooth operator when I can.
Ooh.
Normally,
we do love Sade around here. Yes, we do. She's our girl.
You know, I had to borrow it from Mr. Baby, my dog. He said that's his song. It's his song.
Oh, is he a smooth operator? We got to watch out for him.
You know it. So, yes, great time. Thanks again for that trip. I'll address my hat. The Cleveland Browns are 0-2.
Oh, no.
Oh, so why not wear my favorite Browns hat on the show? This is a nice little hat. This was a gift to myself. Sheri, treat yourself.
It's cute. I like it. Even if the Browns aren't winning, you know, I mean, they do have a cute hat. They make a cute hat. I mean, that's what you got to give them that. And There's always next year. There's always next year, Sarah. Come on.
I like that the logo is just a helmet. So Sheri's like, that's football. I got it.
Exactly. I don't have to figure out what team it is. It's like, yep, that is sports ball right there. I can identify that.
Yes. Fun stuff. Okay. Are we ready to move into our headlines?
Let's do it.
All right. In the news, no surprise here. Pack Expo Las Vegas is, we're getting to the point, it's just hours away. It is so close. Days away, there will be a variety of packaging machines and solutions on display. That includes 2 new systems from our friends at Morrison Container Handling Solutions. Morrison, known for change parts and timing screws, will debut a redesigned screw densitor that has quick change capabilities and a robotic orienting system that's equipped with a vision system, control system, and built for recipe-based changeovers. It also has parallel robotic arms for high-speed throughput. Stay tuned, Sheri. Here's a tease for you. There is more coming from Sarah Wynn about Morrison Container Handling Solutions.
We love our folks over at Morrison, so shout out to them. And so if you don't know, let's talk about engineering leaders under 40. Our award winners were just announced this week, so it's a super exciting time for us. So congratulations to all of our winners for both plant engineering and control engineering leaders under 40. Such an exciting program. You can go read all about those amazing winners. These are all very talented, amazing young people in the engineering field. We have winners who are more on the plant side. You're going to find those at plantengineering.com. Our control engineers are over at controleng.com. And because I love this program so much, and I really feel like people who are thinking about going into the engineering field, you know, they need that inspiration. Our leaders under 40 have a lot of great takeaways, but you might also want to go check out our salary survey for both control engineering and plant engineering to give you some more insights into the industry and the sector. I have conveniently done 2 stories, one for plant engineering and one for control engineering, that tie all of that together, and you can find links to all of that good stuff in my article that's up now at Plant Engineering, and there's one over at Control Engineering. But because we like to make things convenient for our listeners on the Downtime, you can find those links wherever you can find our podcast and over at our LinkedIn page. And while I've got you, go give us a follow. Give us a follow at LinkedIn. Follow us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify. And you can also check out our podcast at plantengineering.com, controleng.com, and packagingoem.com.
Packagingoem.com. Yes. Thank you, Sheri. Absolutely. Those are our headlines for the day. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my trip. We mentioned at the top, I just got back from Houston, Texas. Yes, I'm still shaking the Longhorn off of me. Ooh. Did I rep the Ohio State University while I was there? For sure. I did. So I had the pleasure of representing WTWH Media and our podcast here, the Downtime Podcast, at Schneider Electric's Open Automation Showcase. During the event, we toured the Houston Innovation Hub, heard panels, and saw demos relating to Schneider's EcoStruxure Automation Expert. I mentioned we attended a NASA tour of Johnson Space Center. We also heard from Shell and an automation roundtable that featured Universal Automation Organization and Shell. And we wrapped it up on Friday with a site visit to the City of Conroe's water plant number 21, which uses Schneider's technology to deploy remote monitoring and automatic alarms. I did mention at the top my 60-second recaps on LinkedIn. I'm also working on some content for this. But moving into our interview segment, or Sheri, I'll leave the floor to you. Any questions you might have about my Houston trip?
No, I mean, I am just excited to hear this interview. I mean, I was following along with you when you were in Texas on LinkedIn, and I know you were sending me some stuff over text, but it sounds like you had a great time. Like, they seemed like such fun, and really excited to hear your interview. But so let's hear it. Let's hear what you got while you were out in Houston from Schneider Electric.
For sure. So I was able to grab 2 interviews for our beloved podcast here during my trip to Houston, and I'm going to introduce today's guest. We have Ali Fraj, Senior Vice President of Digital Factory. We discuss how Automation Expert is a hardware-agnostic platform and how it can be used for packaging applications. Of course, Sheri, I had to tie it into packaging. This specific solution can be used in packaging for situations where you may need to switch controllers mid-production without any interruption. I also spent some time with Richella Odebrecht. She is the Senior Vice President Marketing and CMO for Industrial Automation. That is Chief Marketing Officer, CMO. Richella was a lot of fun. Both of these interviews were great. I'll get into Richella in one second. We don't typically record our podcast interviews in person. This was one of the first ones I've ever done in person. And I could feel the passion from Ali and from Richella just coming off of them. And they both flew in from overseas to be at this event. So it was a pleasure to meet them both. Richella is very passionate about the topic, about Automation Expert. And she really takes these technical topics and converts it into more narratives for our audience here. And she uses maybe a little spaceship analogy. I liked that a lot. Yeah. And she even addresses how Automation Expert, the approach is, quote, not rocket science. No. All right, so let's take it in and hear it from Ali and Richella.
Take it away.
Right, we are here on the Downtime Podcast, here with Schneider Electric's Ali. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me. My name is Ali Fraj, and I'm running for Schneider Electric, the digital factory line of business.
Thank you so much. And we are here at NASA, part of Schneider's Open Automation event that we have been experiencing in Houston. I have a few questions related to packaging, of course, for Packaging OEM. Ali's going to answer some for me, so we'll get started. Ali, if we walked onto a packaging line running EcoStruxure Automation Expert, what would we immediately notice when compared to a traditional proprietary setup?
Well, I think what we can offer with Automation Expert platform is flexibility to run the control on different controller. So we can move from one to another in a very flexible way. We can run applications on a PLC. We can run an application on an IPC. We can even go down to a variable speed drives and run the same program there. So it's going to be a lot of flexibility, hardware agnostic, so that we can move between controllers in a very flexible way.
Thank you. Could you just touch a little bit more on hardware agnostic, how the software supports?
Well, actually, hardware agnosticity is one of principles of our automation expert offer. And what we mean that is what we separate the two life cycles of the software, of the hardware, and with that, the runtime can still run on different types of hardware. Could be a native PLC, like our Modicon M262D, or it can be an IPC, like our Harmony P6, or it can be an Altivar DPAC variable speed drive. So, or it could be also a third-party hardware from our UAO, so Universal Automation Organization.
Thank you. We saw some of the third-party hardware earlier today, and we saw some Schneider stuff. So we will be including those photos on our social media. Next question, Ali. How does open automation change the way downtime is handled on a packaging line?
Well, I think one very important thing when you have downtime is that you can switch quickly to the hardware you have, right? So, which not always the same one. So what is available and to switch. So that's something what is very, very possible with and enabled with Automation Expert. And also another concept which we are about launching is making automation and control autonomous, so that once a downtime is there or a failure is there, the control can switch from one controller to another without interrupting the application.
Definitely. You know, this podcast is the downtime, so we love to address it. I appreciate you answering that. Next question: what is a packaging example where automation unlocked flexibility, such as switching SKUs or scaling production, in a way that really hit home for a customer?
Yeah, I think when we talk about scaling here, is what's important with Automation Expert as an engineering environment is that you can build your application in a very object-oriented and asset-centric way. So we say it's application centricity, and you can also couple this with the distribution, with intelligent distribution concept, so that you can build your concept, you test it, and then you can scale it and reuse it in a very efficient way, and scale it up from a proof of concept to a industrial scale in a very, very easy way.
Thank you. One more. When packaging lines integrate robotics, vision, and motion systems, what role does Automation Expert play in synchronizing these elements? And how does open software make that technically different from a traditional PLC-based approach?
Well, actually, the traditional approach is a bit close and locked between, the build time, the run time, and the hardware which is running on. What Automation Expert brings is an openness, also to integrate other systems, third-party systems, and to orchestrate them. And also another aspect is the openness to IT integration. So that means when you are talking about visual inspection systems or whatever in that context, or aggregating data and managing data and so on, this all is very easy to do with the openness and the IT/OT convergent capabilities of Automation Expert. That's why it makes the integration of robotics, the integration of, for example, cameras, the integration of third-party systems, and orchestrating them very efficient.
Thank you, and I'll leave the floor to you. Anything else you may want to add about Automation Expert?
Well, I think with Automation Expert, Schneider Electric has launched the world's first open software-defined automation. We think that this is a huge revolution in the market, bringing a lot of big values for our customers. hardware agnosticity, distributed intelligence, application centricity, and digital continuity. And those are values with high impact.
Definitely. And where can we find you? Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn. Would be happy to connect with whomever is interested.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, welcome back to the Downtime. I am here with Richella Odebrecht from Schneider Electric. Richella, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, with pleasure. And Sarah, great to be here with you and here in Houston. Yes, as you said, my name is Richella Odebrecht. I'm the CMO of the industrial automation business of Schneider Electric, based out of Switzerland, and happy to be here with you in Houston today.
Switzerland, quite a flight.
Quite a flight, but well worth it.
Well worth it. She made it safely, safe and sound.
Exactly.
Okay, we got a few questions for you. I'll tee them up. Getting started. From a marketing perspective, what's the most vivid customer story you've seen where open automation made a difference that anyone could understand, not just engineers?
Great question, and in fact, one that I think is also really reels to the question of how do we make this a little bit more interesting and palpable for the broad adoption. And there's actually many, but let me pick out one in particular. So, picture the following situation: customer, water customer, 100 installations, 6 different programming platforms, and ultimately, if you can imagine it the following way, it's like having to speak French, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, etc., and make it all work together seamlessly. And that's exactly the situation that this customer is facing. They're saying it is limiting, it is complicated. There's a poor person that is actually trying to bring it all together. And how many people do we know who speak all these languages fluently? Very, very few.
Very few.
And this is exactly where open software-defined automation, in this case Automation Expert, kicks in.
Yeah.
By being able to be that translator. Imagine like Google Translate in the end, where you can take the languages, you can translate, you can harmonize, and with that, it makes that life of that person so much easier. It's really catapulting that facility to today's technology and giving access. So there's many more, but that would be a very inspiring case of enablement. It's actually literally enabling human beings to be able to do more, and companies to be better, bolder, and faster as a result.
Better, bolder, faster. Nice. And I like that you brought up multiple languages. My co-host does speak multiple languages, so this is a quick shout out to her.
Well done.
Yes. Next question. We are here at NASA. We just did a tram tour. If Schneider's open automation journey were a space mission, what stage would it be in right now? Liftoff, orbit, or landing?
Definitely liftoff, but we are well past the first stage.
Okay.
So we've taken off, and it's not just us. We can see many more who are joining that mission, who are equally lifting off. We're heading towards orbit, and we're definitely looking forward to having those multiple landings together with our customers, our partners, the ecosystem. So it's as exciting as I would say a space mission.
Definitely. And it's fun. Most of our Downtime interviews are not in person. I can feel her enthusiasm of this. It's really nice. Last one for you. If you had to sum up the future of open automation in one image or analogy that anyone could picture instantly, what would it be?
Well, since we're here, what can I say? It has to be a spaceship. We're taking off. We're on a mission. It is really, taking no limitations as a limiting factor. On the contrary, to actually say, it's not rocket science at the same time. So it can be done.
Yes.
And it's very inspiring. And it actually gives us a totally different vantage point and perspective on what true possibility is. So I think that's what I would call it.
Nice analogy. We actually took a picture together with the rocket outside. So we kind of predicted the future. All right. And I'll leave the floor to you. Anything else you may want to add?
All I can say is thank you very much for taking the time on being on this mission together with us, and really looking forward to extending that journey, and then also being able to engage with everybody who's part of this story and journey with us.
Definitely, Houston. We do not have a problem.
Absolutely not.
We're ready to go.
Thank you again, Ali. Thank you again, Richella. Greatly appreciated your insights, spending time with me down in Houston, recording the podcast live. Really appreciate it. Thank you again to the Schneider team.
Awesome. Yeah, great interview. So thank you so much to the Schneider team. And thank you, Sarah, for your awesome work in getting all of that great, juicy content that we love. You have done such a great job of, finding great stuff and finding different ways to use it. So we love that.
I'm fortunate that you put up with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not at all.
All right. I think it's time to move to our infamous game segment.
Infamous. Would you say it's notorious even?
Notorious.
See, I love it. You got the Duran Duran reference right away. Love that. Yeah,
It's a little juicy. How about that?
It is, for sure. All right. So tell us about our game. What are we playing this week?
This week's game is the astronaut aptitude test. Of course, we are fitting in with the space theme. We are going to see how ready Sheri and I are for life in outer space.
Yeah, the rules are simple. We've got 5 astronaut skills that we've deemed appropriate, and we'll each give ourselves a grade from A to F. Then we have to explain why we gave ourselves that grade.
Yes, and I actually added a bonus one. Sorry, there are 6. So we're going to give ourselves a grade. There are no wrong answers. This is self-grading and or self-deprecating. So are we ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, category number 1. Freeze-dried food tolerance. Grade yourself on how well you'd handle eating astronaut food day after day.
All right, so my favorite thing about going to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, when I was a kid, I think I was in like 4th grade, and we had this class trip, was eating freeze-dried ice cream. But I'm not sure how I would feel about anything else freeze-dried, so maybe I'd give myself a C, unless I could live off of freeze-dried like chocolate ice cream for the duration of my mission.
Just chocolate.
Just chocolate ice cream, yeah, the freeze-dried stuff.
So like the vanilla and strawberry would just pile up, like not interested.
Maybe. Could we have a Neapolitan moment though? Like eat them all at the same time. Maybe.
I'm not a Neapolitan fan, actually. I don't really like strawberry ice cream.
Okay.
But for me, I'm going to give myself an A. Most people don't know this, except for Sheri, because Sheri knows everything about me. I eat the same thing every single day. And like my dinners, I have like a little rotation. Like I'll have salmon one day, I'll have chicken one day. It's not exotic. It's not exciting. So I'm going to give myself an A. I think I'd be fine.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine. You'd be good. All right, category 2, zero gravity coordination. Would you float gracefully in space or be the one bumping into walls?
I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I have this huge bruise on my arm.
I can. Oh my gosh.
From my trip, I'm so bruised up and I have no idea how it happened. I've got bruises all over my arms, all over my legs. So this will be an F for me. I can't even tweet while walking on Earth without breaking my foot. F.
Yeah, I've broken my fingers while biking. So that's going to be an F for me too.
Oof, oof, oof. There's another one.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All right. Sheri's category number 3. Spacesuit fashion sense. How stylish would you look in space gear?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give myself an A, but only because I feel like the only thing you need to rock space gear is confidence. And I think that's true of every fashion trend. You can do whatever you want. You can wear whatever you want as long as you wear it confidently.
It's not a tracksuit, which is my preferred way of that's my outfit for everything. If I could just wear a different tracksuit every day for the rest of my life, I'd be really happy. I'd say like a B. Can I wear like a pair of Jordans with it? Maybe like a gold chain? Probably not, because it'll float off of me.
Yeah, I don't know that a chain would work. So yeah, I don't know.
No chains. What about my bracelets? Could I not have my bracelets in space?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm still in my bracelet phase.
I love them. They're awesome. All right. So category 4, remember complicated instructions. Could you follow all of the mission checklists or would Houston be worried?
Houston, you wouldn't have a problem with me. I'm going to give myself an A minus. I have a really crazy good memory, almost photogenic. So I'm going to grade myself high here.
All right. So for me, it's a D minus. I have ADHD and I take medication, but I have to constantly keep lists and I have to remind myself of how things should be done. And I am obsessed. If you work with me, you know I'm obsessed with Monday boards, and that's exactly why, because they keep me organized. So that's the reason I love organizational tools like that, because my ADHD, like, if you were to like tell me how to do something verbally, I would just, it would completely just vanish the second after you stopped speaking. And I would be, how do you do that again? Could you repeat all of that?
Few takeaways, few sidebars off that. Yes, Sheri loves Monday boards. Confirmed. Two, I'm a note taker. So am I allowed to take notes on these instructions? If so, I could even be higher than an A minus.
Sure. I'd have to. I mean, if you're just going to verbally give me the instructions, there's no way. No way.
I'm just like visual learner. I see it. I got to see it. I got to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Category number 5. This one is out of this world. Alien diplomacy skills. If you were the first human to meet aliens, how well would you represent Earth? Would you charm them, confuse them, or accidentally start an intergalactic incident?
All right. So I'm going to give myself an A. I pride myself on being diplomatic. I am really good at negotiating, and I'm really good at hearing both sides of an argument. That's the Gemini in me. We are not two-faced, by the way. We're just good at understanding that two things can be true at the same time.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. Fight me.
Whoa. Take me to your leader. I don't know. Like, I'll give myself a C. I have no idea. I've never met an alien. I'll just hope that somewhere in the universe, some galaxy far, far away has heard my theme song. All I do is win.
No, I would disagree with your assessment of yourself, Sarah. I think you are a great communicator and a great negotiator. So I would disagree.
That's very kind. I do appreciate that, Sheri. And we had Kai, that's Sheri's little chihuahua in the background there for a second. Kai, I've mentioned on the downtime before, we still have another category to go, but I mentioned on the downtime before, we do have animals, both Sheri and myself. So on occasion, you may hear one, you may hear all. There's about 5 dogs combined between us.
And mine's a chihuahua, so he's extra angry. So who knows? Our final category is astronaut playlist DJ skills. If you were in charge of music on the spacecraft, how good would your playlist be for keeping the morale up?
This is my category. I have a playlist for everybody. I've made playlists about Sheri, like without her consent. I think Sheri would like this. Add. And then I send it to her and I'm like, I'm listening to your playlist. And you're like, cool. I've never even listened to it.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
I also made a custom playlist for the GOAT, our boss, Stephanie Neal, when we were in Detroit. Of all places. The playlist is a banger, though. It's good. Yeah. So I would be keeping the morale up with music, and I'll play anything from the Eagles to Cardi B to Stevie Nicks to like classic Johnny Cash. Like, I love it all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I gave myself a B minus just because I have a really like eclectic taste in music. Like, I'm sure not everyone wants to listen to Radiohead for 6 hours. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. I think my taste in music is good. I don't know that everyone would agree with me, though.
Oh, and of course I'll add some Nelly in the mix.
Yeah. Oh, you have to.
Yes.
Or is it Lil Wayne?
Both.
I think our boss mixed them up, didn't she?
Yes. It's okay. It's all right.
Okay. We love her.
Yes. Yes, I want both. Put them both on the playlist. Yeah, I want Grills by Nelly.
Yeah,
and Mr. Carter by Lil Wayne. Put those back to back. Ooh,
there you go.
Goosebumps. Okay.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our game time, and I think that brings us to the end of another episode of the Downtime.
It's always inevitable. It comes around again, and we are here. And this week, I am not going to say, "Hey, Sheri, OH," because we have a bye week. But go Buckeyes will be back against Washington. next
That
week.
sounds great. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So thank you as always for joining us on the Downtime, and we will catch you in the next episode. Bye.
See you in the next galaxy. Thank you.
Woo.